Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome back all my lovely regular viewers, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So I wasn't intending really on changing these nails because I absolutely love them, but I had a little accident with my oven door and I caught my middle finger, so I kind of need to take everything off just to see what damage has been done underneath it. So I'm just going to file them right back to the clear base, and then I'll see what damage is done and see what I can do on top of it. So the e-file that I use is from Brillbird, and I'm using my extra coarse 5-in-1 e-file bit. Okay, so it's all been filed off, and these are the colours that I'm going to be using in the set today. Again, it's all Glitterbels because you know how much I love Glitterbels. So I'm going to start off by putting on my dehydrator, and you can probably see right away just the damage that's been done to my middle finger. The actual nail hasn't broken or anything like that. I think it's just really badly bruised underneath. So I'm going to be really naughty, and I'm actually going to put some acrylic back over it. But I don't know, I'll see how the pain goes whenever the new acrylic has been put on as to whether or not I keep them as long as they are. I have taken them down a good bit from the previous set that I've just filed off. So hopefully with it just being a little bit longer, it mightn't put as much stress onto it. So this is Blossom, and it's one of the Glitterbels coloured acrylics. So I'm just painting it on as if I was putting on a gel polish. That's how I apply my acrylic. I just work really wet and really thin. So in now with my cuticle bead, again I'm working really wet, and I'm keeping my nail angled downwards so that gravity will help pull that acrylic down and not flood into the cuticle area. If you're doing your own nails, just go in while it's still wet like this and just clean up around the cuticle, and then go in and spread the rest of the acrylic. Always do the clean up first before you do anything else. This next bead is going to be placed at the free edge, and it's just to make sure that there's enough colour on the free edge so that whenever I go to cap it and I'm filing and shaping it, that I'm not going to buff away any of the colour. Onto the pointer finger now, and this is going to be the same as the little finger, and it's going to be a full coverage of the blossom. So even though I'm working with coloured acrylic, because the nails are quite long, I'm still going to do it in a few beads. I'm not going to do it in a one bead method. One of the reasons as well is my little studio and my hands and my nail beds, they're quite warm, so it would probably have started to cure before I even got to the free edge. So I always try and work it, especially when I'm doing my own nails, I try and do it in the 3 zones, like your free edge, your apex and your cuticle. Although even though when we're working with coloured acrylic, you don't go ahead and build your apex, you want to build that up with your glass slippers. And in with the cuticle bead. So again, I'm working really wet. I'm placing it right up just before the cuticle. I'm patting it into place, and then I'll use the brush just to blend it into the rest of that acrylic. So I can see a few little shadows, which means that there's a little bit of a difference in the colour. So I'm just going in with some other little small beads just to make the colour more consistent, and I'll not have any shadowing or anything on it. So onto my dodgy middle finger. Oh my goodness, when this happened last night, oh, I danced about my house. So it was so sore, and I actually was shocked a little bit, you know, whenever I took the acrylic off and I saw it like this, because I've banged my nails so many times, but this is the first that I've really actually caused damage. But so far so good. There doesn't seem, the pain seems to be going out of it, and nothing seems to be reacting to it, so that must mean that there's no broken skin and no broken nail. So fingers crossed that it all goes okay. So this next colour is Pom Pom, and I'm starting off at the cuticle area on this nail because I'm going to be doing cutouts. So I've placed quite a big bead up against the cuticle, and I'm just spreading it down with the belly of my brush just past to where my natural nail ends. And then once it starts to mattify, I'll go in with my little craft knife and I'll do the cut. So this is my little craft knife. I just got it off eBay, or was it Amazon? So before I use it, I dip it into my acrylic powder just so that the acrylic doesn't stick to it. So because I've used my little craft knife to do the cutout, I've got a really nice clean line. So I'm not going to have to go in with my hand file and just crisp up that line. So I'm just going to end with earth, and I'm butting it right up to the blossom, or no, sorry, the Pom Pom that I've already placed at the cuticle area. So with this glitter, I'm going to create like a colour block in the middle of the nail. So I'm going to do it, I'm like splitting the nail up into 3, and I'll go at the bottom of that nail and put in some more of the Pom Pom. Moving on now to the ring finger, and before I place, I'm going in with the glitter. So before I place that, I'm going to go in with some of the clear glass slippers, and I'm just going to do my clear base on that nail bed. And then I'll go in, I'll do the opposite on this finger that I did on the middle finger. So where I have the Pom Pom on the middle finger, I'm going to be putting the earth. Sometimes when using the glitter, especially one with the likes of this earth that I'm using, because it has some chunkier bits in it, it can be a little bit tricky to get a really straight line. So I will probably have to go in with my hand file and just crisp up the line. I will come back to the middle finger and the ring finger once that has cured. So I'm moving on now to the thumbnail, and again I'm going in with my clear base as I'm going to be applying the glitter. So this nail is going to be just glitter the earth at the cuticle area and down in a diagonal, and then I'll go in with both of the pink colours, the blossom and the Pom Pom, and just do some diagonal stripes. And then I'll finish off with some more of the earth at the bottom of the nail, and I'll leave the very free edge just clear so we can see some of that glass tip start to show through. Okay, back to the ring finger, and I am going to go in with my hand file just to crisp up that line, because I just think it was a little bit hard because there was some of the chunkier bits of glitter just where I needed that straight line. So now that I've filed it all nice and crisp, I'm going to go in with the Pom Pom, and I'm going to do the colour block in the middle part of that nail. Now that it's started to mattify, I'm going to go in with my little craft knife. So again, I'm dipping it in the acrylic before I use it, and that way the acrylic isn't going to stick to it and start to come with it whenever I do my cut. So I'm going to get a really, really nice clean cut that I won't have to file. And I'm back to the middle finger now, and I'm going in with that Pom Pom, and I'm just going to butt it up to the line that I created with the earth glitter, and then I'll spread that down towards the free edge, and then all I need to do on that nail is to cap it. And back now to the ring finger, and to finish this nail off, I'm going to in with the earth glitter, and I'm just going to spot that up to that line of the Pom Pom and take it right down to the free edge. Now that I've got all the coloured acrylic and the glitter lead, it's now time to cap all the nails. So I'm going to use glass slippers, and I'm going to start on the thumbnail. I'm starting up in the middle area, and I'll just blend that clear right down to the free edge. So I want to get a nice even coverage of the clear, so I'll keep going so that I can build up my apex. Because I've been working with coloured and glitter acrylic, I haven't built up any strength or structure with the nails. So I will need to go in and do all those placements. So I'll do my free edge, I'll do my apex, and I'll do my cuticle. I'm only going to show one of the nails being capped though, because they're all done exactly the same way, and I don't like to keep the videos too long for you guys. So just to make sure that there's enough clear acrylic on my free edge, I turn my thumb the other way so I can see it from a different angle, and I've placed the clear. I'm so sorry that I'm out of frame here, but I've literally just put that clear acrylic right at the free edge and blended it back into the other acrylic that I've laid. So now that all the nails have all been capped and it's cured, it's now time to do the filing routine. So I always do exactly the same filing routine. I always start at the side walls and I make sure they're nice and straight. I do apologise because some of this I'm slightly out of frame. I totally forget sometimes when I'm doing my own nails. So starting at the side walls, I go in with my Glitterbels metal board file, and I'm using 180 grit refills. So once I've done the side walls, I go to the lower arch like you see I'm doing now, and I make sure that's nice and straight and coming out in line with my natural nail bed. Then I'll go to the free edge and make sure that that's nice and straight and the shape that I want it. Once I've done all that, I'll go around the cuticle area and just over the rest of the nail, always filing up towards that apex because we want to keep the height of the apex, and because these nails are quite long, the apex would be slightly higher than normal. So now they've all been filed and shaped, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some one-stroke nail art. So to do this you need acrylic paint. These ones that I'm using are from Brillbird, but you can use any brand of acrylic paint and they'll all do exactly the same job. So I'm just giving my nails a quick wipe over with some alcohol just to remove any of the dust and debris. For the one-stroke nail art, I have got like a J cloth. I've wet the J cloth. And then I've got some greaseproof paper that's going to keep my acrylic, I can't even speak today, that's going to keep my acrylic paint damp, so it's not going to start to dry out and harden, and I'll be able to do everything that I need to do before it starts to dry out. So you can see there that I loaded my brush up with some of the white and the pink, and I spread it about on my little greaseproof paper there just to make sure that it was through all the bristles of the brush. So anytime that I've done one set, I normally go in and I'll go over them just to brighten the colours up a little bit. So you're just placing your brush at a side angle, and I kind of like wiggle it up and down just to give it like a shaky movement, as if you're shaking, if you can see what I'm doing there. And then I do that in sort of like the 3 zones, so 3 different petals. So I always load my brush up again before I go in and do the next layer. And this is going to be inside. Oh no, not this one. Sorry about this, guys. I'm a bit ahead of myself. So yeah, I'm just going to place another half little one at the corner of this one. Okay, so now I'm going in and doing the inside of the flower. So you can see my petals are much smaller, and I've tilted my brush just ever so slightly more. I do have another video on my YouTube channel of where I go in and do more in depth for one stroke, and I show quite a few different flowers and a few different techniques. I'll link it to this video, and you can go on and have a look at some more of different kinds of the one stroke nail art. So I'm going to go ahead and let you watch the rest of these flowers being done, and then I'll come back just at before the end. So now that all the flowers have been done, I've changed over to my Glitterbels detailer brush, and I've just added some more water to that white acrylic paint just to make it a little bit more fluid, and I'm going to go in and just add some extra little bits of detail. Now that all the flowers are done, it's time now for me to add some striping tape. So this is just one that I got off Amazon. It came in, I think, a pack of 8 different colours, and I find them easier to use than the little rolls of the striping tape, and you'll see why. So how much easier is that, especially when I'm doing it on my own nails? I can literally just put it on so easy and not having to flaff about with those little wheels of striping tape. So now that all the striping tape is on, I'm going in with my hand file and just dragging it down the side walls of the nails, and that's going to give me a nice clean cut, a nice really close cut to that striping tape, so whenever I put my top coat on, it's going to completely seal it. So now it's top coat time, and we'll get to see these nails come to life. So you can see as well, even those flowers start to come to life as well, and this earth, whenever the top coat hits it, wow, it is so gorgeous. Like, look at that. How beautiful is that? Do you know, that was one of the very first glitters that I got in my Glitterbels order. I love it. So now that the top coat has been cured, I'm going in with this Halo thick top coat, and I use that to adhere my rhinestones to the nails. I find that sometimes if I'm using like larger stones, that sometimes the gripper glue just doesn't hold them as well. So I've started using this thick top coat. You could use just like a builder gel, it will give you the same idea, but because this comes in a ball, it's just so easy for me to use. So I'm just placing some different sized rhinestones, a cuff around the cuticle of the middle finger, and then just one of those little embellishments in the center of the colour block on my ring finger. And all that's left to do now is to add some cuticle oil. So of course I'm going to use a Glitterbels cuticle oil. So this is their coconut cuticle oil, and it smells lush. I really wish you would be able to smell this through the screen because it is so nice. And here is the finished set, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up. And for those of you that haven't already subscribed to my channel, you could help support me by hitting that subscribe button now. And I'll be back with another video, so take care. See you soon. Bye.